Hello and welcome to the watch along. Manchester United taking on Swansea in the League Cup. Really looking forward to this one. Manchester United, obviously, we've been in some poor form in terms of performances the last three games. So really looking forward to hopefully Manchester United performing a bit better this evening and hopefully getting back to banging in some goals, because we haven't really seen too many goals in the last three games. Only 2 goals from Marcus Rashford. So we've made a number of changes for this evening's game. We've made, I think it's 7 changes in all. Romero obviously was expected to be in goal. I was hoping it'll be Luke Shaw at left back, but it looks like he's gone with a back 5. I'm in Lindelof, Smalling, Blind, and Tuanzebe. There was Tuanzebe was one of the players I wanted to see play. There was rumours that Marcus Rojo may potentially return to the team. He hasn't even made the substitutes bench, so probably needs, for me, a couple of reserve games first before he's given any chance. It is a bit damaging that Luke Shaw isn't playing yet again from the start for Manchester United. It does look like his Manchester United career is coming to an end, because even Tuanzebe, who hasn't played much football lately, is starting. So he's been injured as well. He missed the last game in this competition against Burton Albion with a back injury. So Luke Shaw apparently was well, a lot of people were slacking him off in the under-23 game the other week, and Manchester United are actually doing horrendous in the under-23s. It isn't a very good league at all. So hopefully he can get some minutes in this game, but this is a lot tougher opposition this time around than it was against Burton Albion. So the rest of the team is And Herrera, Lingard, Scott McTominay, who it's nice to see Scott get a run out tonight. Hasn't played a lot of football for Manchester United this season either. Marcus Rashford and Anthony Martial. Now, I presume that Marcus Rashford would be playing in that number 9 position, which has been occupied by, obviously, Romelu Lukaku for the majority of the season, besides the other game in this cup. Now, the game is live on Sky Sports if you want to watch it. Unfortunately, we can't show the game here, or the channel will get shut down. So there's just under 10 minutes away from kickoff. We've got the substitutes here as well. Joel Pereira's on the bench, so there's no David here tonight. Jones is also on the bench. Luke Shaw, Matic, Mata, Mkhitaryan, and Romelu Lukaku. So it is great news that Jones is on the substitutes bench. Really pleased with that, because he has been very, very good for Manchester United this season. There was rumours that Eric Bailly could be back in contention for this game, but it does look like he could well be back for the Tottenham and the Chelsea game, which we really do need to have him back in and around the squad and starting again soon, because Jones and Bailly have been Manchester United's solid pairing this season, and it is a job when you have your main 2 centre halves out, either of them out injured. See, in that back 4, it can be a job to replace them with bringing another player in. So we're expecting big things from Lindelof, and we've got to hope that he performs well tonight. But it's not always easy when you've got to chop and change your defence and the player has to slot in. But there's no taking away from the fact that he was poor against in the weekend against Huddersfield. So, and he was a bit poorer. He made a big error in the pre-season as well. So he hasn't played a lot of football, though, for Manchester United yet. I think Jose Mourinho is trying to ease him in like he did with Mkhitaryan last season, and hopefully he can improve. Now, there's no guarantee, obviously, that Lindelof will improve. Manchester United, he could end up going the same way as David Bellion and players of that ilk. 3 years, he could be binned off, but I'm hopeful anyway that he will not be binned off and that he will be a Manchester United player for years to come. He's only young, but that is obviously no excuse, because we've had young players in the past and they've performed horribly. So you never know what's going to happen. Maybe he will come good. We just got to hope and pray that he will come good. So I hope everyone's looking forward to the match this evening. There's a lot of football going on and around England in this League Cup, so I will keep you up to date with everything that goes on in and around the football for all the other teams as well. There's hell of a lot of games on tonight. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There's 6 games on in total, so 12 teams are playing in this competition this evening, and there's some tomorrow as well. So obviously Manchester United have got an all Premier League tie, but there is some Championship teams as well still in this competition. So it's an opportunity for some of the lesser teams to maybe qualify for the next round. But really looking forward to this one tonight. Hopefully it's a lot better game than it was at the weekend and against Benfica and Liverpool. Now, obviously last time out we beat these 4-0, but the scoreline didn't really reflect the whole game, because until they sort of changed their formation and went a bit more expansive to try and get back in that game, Manchester United were only winning that game 1-0. And it was a bit of a replication of the further game down the line against Everton, where Manchester United were, well, they were more on the ropes in that game against Everton, and it took us a while to kill that game off. And when we killed both games off, we went and smashed both teams late on. Now, so you can't go back on that sort of game there and think the Manchester United are overwhelmingly favourites for this one. This is a completely different tie. We've obviously changed the number of players, so just got to go in with it as we see the game. Hopefully, though, Manchester United can do the business tonight. I mean, I believe that Swansea have changed some players for this evening's game as well. Mistaken, Abraham's not playing. I think he's on the bench for them. So they've probably changed a few. They're more worried about obviously staying in the Premier League than winning their game. This game this evening, really, I mean, obviously they'd like to get through, but we will just have to wait and see. But he's probably one of their main threats, Tammy Abraham. But if he's on the bench, then hopefully he can't cause Manchester United any problems this evening, even from the substitutes bench. But I'm not too sure how many players they've actually changed from their game at the weekend. I didn't watch their game at the weekend, but then the relegation at the moment, so you would think that they've probably got enough in their tank to maybe stay up this season, but I do not see that Swansea are going to be any real threat to in the certainly not to finish in the top half of the table this season. So we're only about 5 minutes away now from kickoff, and just got to hope it's an exciting game. See lots of goals, and Manchester United get the victory and move on to the next round. That's all it's about in this, just getting the job done. I mean, it doesn't matter too much if you play horrible in this, but I would like to see a good performance from Manchester United this evening. I really would, because of what we've been accustomed to in the last couple of games. But you can't always play well and win, and I think the criticism on Jose Mourinho and the team has been a bit harsh the last 3 games. I admit we didn't play very great against Liverpool, but in the other 2 games, certainly we just played horrible, and that can happen. I mean, everyone's all up Pep's arse at this moment in time, but they're going to have some bad results as well at some point. So it's just one of them things. But I'm sure Manchester United will pull through this, come out stronger, and hopefully we can still challenge for trophy major honours this season. So just the adverts at the moment. There's 5 minutes away from kickoff. The game, you're going to have to watch it on Sky Sports. I'm watching it on my phone on an app. There's probably a live stream as well around to watch it, but I don't have Sky Sports in my house, so I'm watching it on my phone. But it's good enough. It's good enough for me. Gets the job done. As long as I see the game, I'm happy. But it's a real positive, as I say, to see Phil Jones back along the bench, because I thought when he went down injured in that game against Huddersfield, it did make me worry, because he's had some really bad injury problems over the years. Chris Smalling tonight is captain for Manchester United. Yeah, there is one downfall, that Michael Carrick hasn't made this game either, so that's why he's obviously put Scott McTominay in there in place, because we can't really afford to not give Matic a rest in this one, I don't think, because we've got games coming thick and fast in the Premier League, 2 big, massive games, and we don't really want to get Matic injured, because he's been one of Manchester United's best players this season for sure. It would be a shame for that, but it's a big opportunity for Scott McTominay. Bit of a late bloomer coming through the Manchester United ranks. I think still only 20 years of age, so still could have a good future at Manchester United. Could be potentially a decent squad player for Manchester United. So, But we're almost getting ready for kickoff now. So we'll go through any goals that go in tonight. Hopefully there's lots of goals up and down the country, and there's some shocks, and some of the other teams get knocked out. But we will just have to wait and see. This is the 4th round of this competition, so there's still a lot of football to be played in this cup. If Manchester United are to go all the way back to Wembley again this season and win the competition, which, as a Manchester United fan, I want Manchester United to win every single competition. So I'm hopeful that Manchester United can get back to Wembley again. Winning a trophy breeds confidence, and obviously Jose Mourinho, even though he has changed a few for this one, a couple of younger players youth players into the Manchester United team that he didn't. Well, obviously 2-1 he couldn't play last time in that game. I still think that Jose Mourinho is going out there and wanted to win this competition again, because it will be a record 5th win if he does win this, and he wants to get that record. There's no question about it. He would love to get that record. And if he doesn't do that at Manchester United, then he probably won't ever do it, because I can't somehow imagine him going to another Premier League club after he leaves Manchester United. I think that his last Premier League club. So, but it is a big opportunity to do that. Nobody, as I say, has ever. I mean, he hasn't been in management the length of time that Fergie's been in it. Okay, sometimes Fergie didn't always put a full-strength team out, and he's put probably more of a full-strength team out, and doesn't always like to rotate. It still will be a massive achievement if he gets that fifth League Cup this season, or whether it's this season or next season. If he does do it, it would be a massive achievement at still a relatively young age for a manager. I mean, he probably won't do mammoth amount of years in the Premier League, because this probably, as I say, will be his last probably job in English football. But still, I believe that's a massive achievement. Still rotated the squad, so whereas we haven't seen a wholesale changes in terms of youth prospects coming in and playing in this game, we've still got a couple in and around the team that haven't featured a lot for Manchester United that he's brought through. You know, I thought it was nice that Van Gaal did bring through youth players at Manchester United, but sometimes he was bringing through too many, and some that probably weren't good enough. You've got to look at the youth team and pick out the ones that are the best ones for Manchester United, and the ones that you feel can come through the Manchester United youth and play for Manchester United. There's no point just throwing youth players in the Manchester United team. We've seen the likes of Donald Love over the years, and players that just aren't good enough for Manchester United come through the youth team and get given game time under Louis van Gaal. And to be honest, I think that's stupid just to bring them in just to make a point of playing youth players. I think you've really got to be looking at whether they're going to make Manchester United better in the future. And I believe that Axel 2-1 United better over the future. I think he's a quality prospect. Sure on Scott McTominay, but we will have to wait and see. He's grown a lot over the last couple of years. He's, I think, 6'4", so he's a giant lad now. Hopefully, he can have a good future at Manchester United, and maybe could he potentially be a Manchester United player like Darren Fletcher, not the best of players, not the world-class talent, but a decent squad player for Manchester United. We will have to wait and see, but a couple will get a run out anyway, and we hopefully will have a couple of games where we probably can afford to rotate in a few weeks if we qualify for the Champions League. If we beat Benfica next week, we will qualify for the knockout stage. So rest of a couple of players for the last 2 games against Basel and CSKA Moscow, which would be great to see. So expecting a better game this evening. Come on, United, let's let these players make us proud tonight and actually put on a better performance than last time. That is what we want to see. Marcus Rashford there, 7 goals, 4 assists this season. Yep, that is great for Manchester United, playing that striker position. So this is a big chance for Marcus Rashford this evening to stake his claim as potentially a striker for Manchester United in place maybe of Romelu Lukaku if injured, or he could even potentially play as a strike partner for Romelu Lukaku. But obviously it's going to be hard when Zlatan's back from injury, because he's going to want to play in the striker position as well. So opportunities like this are where he's really got to take his chance. Now we're underway here. We've only played about a minute of football, so nothing to shout about just yet. All the games so far have kicked off besides Manchester City taking on Wolverhampton Wanderers. That starts at 8 o'clock, but all the other games have kicked off. Hopefully Manchester United can have a fast start tonight. Martial needs a bit of a better game than the last game he had. Had to get halted off at half time due to the fact that he was on a yellow card more than anything. I know some people were slagging Jose Mourinho off there, but he couldn't really take any risks with that one, because if he'd got a second yellow card, which he was on a tight rope in that first half where he made a second foul, if he'd made any more fouls, down to 10 men, and got in that second half 10 men with close there from Chris Smalling there from the corner, but it wouldn't have been good to go down to 10 men against Huddersfield. But just wide there from Smalling. Could he have done better? Probably not. And Lindelof needed as well, because we're without probably the two centre-halves that we've probably the best two centre-half pairing we've had this season, certainly this season anyway. So when they're not playing, you've really got to have something in reserve, and a lot of people aren't that confident with Smalling now. When he was Mike Smalling, he was much better, a lot of people think. We'll have to bring Mike back. Come on, United. Let's do this. I think the key is to not hurt a bloody early goal in either, because the confidence might drop a bit after them two performances. Certainly the last two performances anyway, I would say, which were pretty damn poor, but certainly after that one at the weekend. Poor, but it was a difficult away game, no question about that. So I wasn't overly concerned about that one. It was the other two games that I was more concerned about. Opposition that we were so poor in. But we're only just over, coming up to 3 minutes into this match now. Come on, United. So everyone's score predictions for the game. Back on the line saying Manchester United are going to win this game 2-1. I wasn't too sure before the game because of what side we were going to put out, but it's still a strong side that could definitely get the job done this evening. I mean, I was expecting a fairly strong lineup anyway. I wasn't expecting to use any more youngsters, to be honest, because certainly after yesterday, after seeing the under-23 game where Manchester United lost 3-1 to Liverpool, and seeing the players that weren't featuring, gave an indication of what players might play. Just hopefully we can maybe see some game time from Luke Shaw later on, because that's something that we really could do well. It is a bit of a worry that he's not getting any game time at all. I mean, this is no dead rubber at all, but we're going to hopefully get a couple of dead rubbers in, as I've recently just said, against Basel and CSKA Moscow if we beat Benfica at home next week. Which, if we get a couple of dead rubbers, then we've got to then. Oh, shot! Oh, keeper saves. Lingard there. Jesse Lingard having Manchester United's first shot on goal. But fairly comfortable, really. You shouldn't have been beaten from that one. Blin with the corner for Manchester United. It's our second corner already. Would love a fast start from Manchester United if we could. To see Axel in the team this evening. I thought that he would probably be on the substitutes bench, so I'm actually surprised that Jose Mourinho has put him in the starting lineup. So far, with the youth players, I'm happy with what he's done with the youth players so far. He's done exactly what, if I was Manchester United manager, I would have done so far. He hasn't given too many a game, and he's given just enough for me. Just the right ones at the right time. That's what it's all about, really. Play too many in a game like this, because it could be, as it was against MK Dons a few years ago under Louis van Gaal, it was pretty bad for Manchester United. Even though there's still some experience out there, you really don't want to put more than 2 or 3 maybe youngsters out in one game, because it can dent their confidence if Manchester United were to get badly beaten. Because to be honest, if one youth player comes through and is the first, even a squad regular every season, that would be massive for any club. Clubs have many youth players that come through and stay in the first team for a few years. Manchester United are absolutely loaded with youth players that can play, could certainly start a game for most Premier League clubs. So Axel Tuanzebe is definitely worthy of being a Premier League player for me. Good enough. He's just got to be given enough game time this season to where he's getting enough minutes on the pitch. Probably 10 to 15 games is what he really probably needs this season, which he may well get that with the cup competitions as well. We'll just have to wait and see. But probably Scott McTominay probably could do with that as well this season. So that's why a lot of them go out, because they don't feel they're going to get it at these clubs. But I believe that Manchester United should persevere with definitely with Axel. There was talk that he could potentially go out on loan, but obviously Fosun Mensah needed probably more minutes. So Swansea there. So far, I don't like any goals in any of the games in the League Cup tonight. So where are all the goals tonight? So far, not the best of starts for Manchester United. Got to pick it up a bit. I mean, this isn't against a brilliant Swansea team by no means. They're not in amazing form at all, but neither were Huddersfield, and we lost to them. So we've really got to make sure we this evening and get this job done. Rashford knocked off the ball there. Potentially could have been a free kick, maybe. But I think he probably just got the ball. I'm not too sure, but I have to watch that back again. But let's see if we can get up the. No, we can't get. Hopefully, the stats will come up in a minute. Manchester United keeping the possession here. As we go into about the 10th minute in this game. Come on, United. Be nice to see Rashford and Marshall get a couple goal each, or one of them score at least this evening. Rashford's already got 7 this season, and that's more than I thought he probably would at this stage. Too sure if Rashford's going to be a regular goal scorer or not, but certainly a decent player for Manchester United. Been a lot more impressed than I thought when he comes through the youth team. But I've never really seen that when I've seen him play, even in the youth team. No, not many people would have thought that he'd be a regular goal scorer. So far, 7 in 14 appearances this season, which isn't bad considering some of them appearances have been from the substitutes bench. So in some of the games he hasn't even finished. So in 4 games, it's not many. Not too much to shout about so far for Manchester United, really, is there? Swansea City either are not really done a lot so far, so far Martial's been a bit quiet. Need to get him running at some defenders. That is really where Martial's at his best, when he's running at the defence, taking people on. He looks so dangerous with his pace. Just got to do that a lot more often. Consistent, he could be up there with some of the best players in the world. Consistent. Oh god, this game's making me fall asleep like that Benfica one. Hopefully it turns out to be a bit better game than that Benfica one. I mean, at the weekend we had so much possession, but just did fuck all with it. I mean, got to make sure that we make our possession count, because we had, I think, about 75% possession in that game against Huddersfield, but throughout the whole game we barely did fucking nothing with it. We any clear-cut chances. It was just, we barely got behind the Huddersfield defence. So we've really got to look to be getting in behind, using that pace from Marshall and Rashford tonight really well to get in behind this Swansea team, because I'm confident that Manchester United can get the victory, but come on, United, let's up this a little bit. So far, it hasn't been brilliant from Manchester United at all. Come on, United, step this up a bit, because this will be a kick in the teeth if we don't do much in this game either. Swansea City here with a corner. So far, we haven't really had to do. So I might do a lot defensively, because Swansea haven't really been brilliant either. But it's just that Manchester United could definitely do with up in this play. Oh, bit of a mistake there. Oh. Romero comes out and claims. Thought we were going to have a defensive cock up there at the back. I'll watch it, because this defence is not as solid as the normal Manchester United defence. Obviously, this is 2-1 Zebi's first game of the season. And Lindelof haven't played a lot together, so, and Darwin hasn't played a lot of football lately. So we're on the attack here now, Manchester United. Oh, Marshall, the chance there. Come on, United. Swansea back on the attack now. Just passing the 15-minute mark here. And I don't know what to really say on this one so far. It's not a lot's really happened for Manchester United so far. I've only made the goalkeeper work once from that Jesse Lingard effort. Haven't really done a lot, which which is a bit worrying so far. It's a bit worrying, but oh, just watching that chance for Swansea back again. That's probably about the best chance of the game. Obviously, Romero coming out and claiming the ball, but come on, United. I wonder what the possession stays for this game, because even so, Manchester United hardly get. I mean, they had so much possession over Huddersfield at the weekend and just couldn't make it pay us. Even if we have the upper hand of possession, we've got to do something better with it in this game, really. So far, we certainly haven't done nothing when we've had the ball in the final third. Really, not enough to put the team under enough pressure. But so far, there's not been any goals on it in and around this League Cup so far. Oh, foul there on Martial. And completely got taken out there. Can Manchester United do something from this free kick? Come on, United. Surely we can do something. Right. Might take something like this to break the deadlock, because get something to get Manchester United a lift. On the free kick, I think Rashford's taking it. Rashford. It is Rashford. It's into the danger area. It's cleared up in the air and out for a corner. We've had a few corners so far, Manchester United, but Rashford taking the corner as well. And the corner's cleared. I think we've had slightly more of the play in their final third. I don't know what the stats are, but yeah. No, not really. They just give the stats. No. More 50, just over 10% more in ours, but to me, it doesn't look like there's been a lot in it. But I think Manchester United have done maybe a little bit more. We've had a few, don't know how many corners, we've had a few corners. But neither side's looking very dangerous at the moment. So I think this game's going to be a tight affair. It's not. The only thing is, if it remains like this for the majority of the half, obviously the half, and then into the second half, you would hope that this one would open itself up a bit in the second half, because neither of these teams are going to want to go to extra time if they can help it. Because another half an hour when we've got, certainly when Manchester United got Spurs next. Oh, in space. Oh, he's got a couple of Swansea players around him and lost the ball. I wouldn't really say the side has the upper hand as such at the moment. So, oh, Lingard! Yes, Jesse Lingard. Woohoo! Get in there. Jesse Lingard scores for Manchester United. It goes clean through on goal. Manchester United have gone 1-0 up. Come on, my son. Very good finish there from Jesse Lingard. So it's Manchester United winning. Really pleased with that there. Just past the keeper, right in the corner. Can't ask for no better than that. Hopefully we can kick on now. I would say it's been a fairly even game so far. Manchester United probably just shaded it in, looking a little bit more dangerous from the corners, but really pleased that we've gone 1-0 up here. Get in there. Jesse Lingard doesn't get enough goals, but just really pleased that we've gone 1-0 up. Crystal Palace have also gone 1-0 up against Bristol. Can this kick Manchester United into life in this game? Hopefully it can. Jesse Lingard gets so much hate from Manchester United fans, but he's plucked and plucked away, and he's made something of his Manchester United career, which even I didn't think he would. But it's a youth player that scores, a player that comes through the youth team. I'm always delighted for them to score. Expecting Lingard to go on and be the next Ronaldo or anything. No one was ever expecting that, but certainly can be a valuable squad player for Manchester United. Come on, United. Hopefully it's going to mean that Swansea at some point now that Manchester United have got the lead, are going to have to come out a bit more. And when we saw in that game against Swansea in the league, when they did change their formation up a bit, they obviously came out a bit more in that second half. It opened things up, and Manchester United picked them off at ease, didn't they? And got another 3 late goals. But it wasn't really until we saw that change from Swansea in that game that Manchester United really looked like they were going to go on and get which can be a bit worrying, but that is a hard part of football, killing games off and obviously taking the lead. They're the 2 hardest parts, because scoring goals is the hardest part of the game. But if Manchester United could get a second goal, it would make me feel very confident that we could go on and win this game. Really would. Hello? Yeah? No? Okay. All right. Bye. Sorry about that. Put the game back on. Manchester United with the free kick here. So second free kick in a similar position. Rashford again taking it. It's a little bit better position, this one, than the last free kick. So what can we do from this one? Oh, it's cleared. So far, I'm pretty pleased with this. We haven't played brilliant, but we're one goal to nil up, and that's all in this competition. It is actually all that matters, winning the game. But obviously, you'd like to play a bit better than. Probably will need to up it a little bit because we probably only just shaded this for me. But for the last 10 minutes, we've had 70% of the possession. But it's obviously what you're doing with this possession, which is what matters. And so far, we haven't really created many clear-cut chances. Obviously, we've got the goal, but besides that, we haven't created enough, which is the only worry for me. Because we're going to come up against two sterner teams in this in the weekend. So. Oh, Manchester United really caught out there at the back. Looked like it was Axel who cleared up the danger. I really do like Axel. I think he could be a good player for Manchester United. Depends where, obviously, Jose Mourinho sees Axel as playing, but because last season he did play him a bit of in the right back position. I think he did play him in defensive midfield, I think, once. But I thought they were going to get in there if it was offside, but they were trying. I think they were trying to play offside or whatever, but the danger was cleared up anyway, whether it was given offside or not. Oh, that is offside, Marcus Rashford. So what are we now? About 29 minutes into this encounter. Leicester City are losing to Leeds 1-0. Oh, just wide there. That it looked like that was going in then from Swansea. Fucking hell. Rebounded off a Swansea player. It might have been Blind or someone hit it against the Swansea man. Off and in. He headed it. I think he headed it into the Swansea man, and it just ricocheted off. Almost went on goal. Fucking hell. Thought Manchester United were in trouble there. Swansea on the attack again. Axel there doing his defensive duties. Gone out for a corner. I really rate Axel. I really do. From what I've seen of him so far, I think that he could be a tremendous player for Manchester United. The corner's gone. It was neck and neck with him there. This will be a real learning curve for Axel tonight. Coming back there to help out, back up. I think Axel's still only 19, so he's a very young lad. You know, for a big and powerful and strong player like. Oh, Swansea on the attack. No. Yeah, it was a nice finish from Lingard, actually. The defence should be terrified. Usually you would expect that Lingard might miss a chance like that, but put it away curly in the bottom corner. The goalkeeper couldn't get it. That's the one area that Lingard needs. The one area Lingard needs to work on is he needs to be getting in the position to get a few tap-ins. The amount of times that Lingard scores screamers and that, he scored a few important goals for Manchester United, but just hasn't been able to get the tap-ins to take his goal tally to 10 to 12 goals a season. There's the shot from Lingard wide. So Leicester City have now drawn level against Leeds United. Norwich City have taken the lead against Arsenal. So that's a little bit of a shock so far. Stadium. City have equalised against Crystal Palace. So all the games are wide open at the moment, at this moment in time. I think if Manchester United could up the play a little bit, we could be in with a chance of getting a second goal in this half. We haven't played brilliant, but to win a cup tie, you don't always have to be brilliant. Yeah, I believe that we can win this competition again. Jose Mourinho, when Jose Mourinho said last time about when they were talking about scrapping it, he was talking a load of shit. He would love to win this competition again and get that fifth one. His fifth one anyway. Manchester United, it would be Manchester United's sixth, I think, if we were to win it, which would move us closer to Liverpool. So that's one reason why I would love Manchester United to win it, because I want Manchester United to have league titles, league cup titles than Liverpool. To be honest, it's not that easy to win it. Some teams do rest players, which makes it a bit easier to win than maybe But even in the FA Cup teams rest players now. It's still a difficult trophy to win. We've still got to be wary in this game, Manchester United, that we don't fuck this up. Swansea here with the free kick. Oh, come on, clear it. Yes, we cleared it. Oh, Rashford, can he get that? No, no. The bloke's Swansea man's limping. Right, well, there's around 10 minutes till half time, so if United get a second, I would like to think they could in this first half, which would put real clear daylight between us and Swansea, and for me, obviously wouldn't make us position then, because Swansea would really have to come out at second half, and Manchester United could probably could use the counter attack with Martial and Rashford, which we haven't seen enough of Martial and Rashford so far to using their pace. It's not been the greatest of first halves, this one, but Swansea are making a change. The injured man is going off. See how this affects the game. Obviously, some more goals to wake me up. So far, we don't really look in any danger of up, but it's really been more individual errors, I feel, that have cost Manchester United this season in games where we've let goals in the Premier League. Which is disappointing, because if you cut out the defensive errors, we would have certainly won the Stoke one and had a better chance in the other one. But it's not really been great play from the opposition, which has caused the goals. The errors have been what's done it. Which is when if someone hits the ball in the top corner and you just can't stop it, then you have to hold your head up and say, well, that's football. You can't do anything about it. But the errors have, which is disappointing, because on the whole, Manchester United have defended fairly well this season. But the last sort of 5 or so minutes, we seem fairly in control of this game. But the game can always drift away from you, and you've got to be careful whether you try and go for another or try and pick them off on the counter attack if they push. Bristol City are now 2-1 up against Crystal Palace. So they've turned that game around. The goals are starting to flow in these matches now. Come on. Hopefully that means there may be some more for Manchester United. Can we see some more in this first half? Oh my God, I'm so tired. Martial can certainly up his game, and if second half, if they push a bit, it's going to be more of a cup game in the second half, certainly when both, obviously they've got to push to try and get the equaliser, because there's no point sitting back and soaking up and trying to get a late equaliser and get a draw. You've got to go for it in these cup games. Either that or you're just going out of the whimpers. So they might as well just have a go second half, and then hopefully Manchester United can be looking to pick them off really on that counter attack with the pace. You've got three really quick players in this team, Marshall and Rashford. So really you've got to be using that to Manchester United's advantage. Hello. Yeah. I don't think so. I don't think so. Well, I'm not in the room. I'm doing live filming. You have to ask Sam. But she wasn't back last time I looked. So I don't think she's back. I haven't heard her back. Okay, bye. I'll check at half time. It's like 2 minutes. Sorry about that. We're now a couple of minutes away from the end of this half. Hopefully Manchester United can go in 1-0 up. Quickly take a break, have a quick drink, and get ready for hopefully the second half, which hopefully we will see Luke Shaw get some minutes in that second half. To see, because he hasn't got nowhere near as many minutes as he should have this season. But he's really on the edge of whether he can revive his Manchester United career now. It's going to be tough. Oh, the shot there from Swansea, wide from distance. Not too far away, but I think Romero had that covered all day long. Romero doesn't let many goals in, does he? Pretty well covered there. I mean, I'm fairly content with this, but we certainly can play better than this. Axel there on the ball. But if Manchester United can start getting back to winning ways, it will just hopefully prove that was just a blip, and it wasn't something like last season where we were struggling to get goals. Because last season it seemed to drag on, which at times, which proves that it's not just some stupid blip. So what you don't want is you don't want it to get to sort of 5-6 games where you're still playing horseshit. You want to, because that's the mark of champions, where you come back after a bad defeat and you put it right in the next game, which often than not Manchester United have done that under Sir Alex Ferguson, and that's what most of the top teams do. They don't let it dwindle on one bad game and then go and let it become 5-6 drop off out of competitions. Certainly at this time of year and after Christmas in January, you can be so quick. Certainly in January you can. There's 1 minute of added time, so almost the end of the first half. So far, I'm pleased with that. Manchester United are at this moment in time leading 1-0. Fucking hell, this half has flown by. It don't seem like it was 2 minutes ago that the kickoff was on. Just completely flown by. Oh, over from Swansea. the Swansea man trying to get a corner out of that, but I think it did hit a Manchester United player. Oh well, that will do for Manchester United this half because it is a goal kick. Let's just see. So that is half time. Manchester United winning 1-0 at half time. Really pleased with that. I will just charge my phone and go for a quick break, and I'll be back for the second half in a minute. I'm just going to grab a drink and probably go toilet and that. I'll be back for the second half. So hopefully Manchester United can see it off to the next round. We're back. Right, so the second half should be kicking off shortly. I'm back. United to go again. Better just grab my phone before we kick off for the second half. Just grab my phone so that we can get ready to start the second half of the game. Okay, let's just shut the door. Okay, so winning 1-0. Jesse Lingard with the opener in this game. Might be a bit more open second half. Swansea have really got to go for it, otherwise they're going to lose. So I'm expecting a more open second half. So that doesn't mean to say that Manchester United are going to get over the line in this one. It's not going to still be easy to see this off. We're going to have to. We haven't played brilliant at all, but so far no one's actually running away with any of the games. All the games are on a knife edge at the moment. So Bristol City winning 2-1 against Crystal Palace. Got Arsenal losing at home to Norwich 1-0. Looks like Leicester and Leeds are drawing 1-1. And Manchester City and Wolves drawing 0-0. So far there's not really many goals about in terms of at the moment, but things will change second half, I'm sure, in all these games, because teams are going to have to really push to get back into games and to win games, because no one in this League Cup wants to go to extra time on a Tuesday night. So we should see it a lot more open this half and hopefully see some more goals. Okay, so it's just the adverts, and then Manchester United will be kicking back off for the second half. Hope everyone is pleased, if you're a Manchester United fan, with how the first half has gone so far. Even though the performance hasn't been amazing or anything, it's at this moment in time, it's just about getting the job done, really. Now, I mean, I did want to see a better performance, but if we could just go over the line like we are now, I'd probably be content with that, because than performing well and losing. Well, you don't want to keep seeing that aren't brilliant, but sometimes you can't always play well and win. So sometimes you have to dig deep in games like this to get victories, grind some victories out, 2 or 3 games, and then maybe you get pull through that. Right, so the players are just about to come back out for the second half here at Swansea. That could be potentially a massive shock if Arsenal lose to Norwich City. I would presume that Arsenal probably work their way back into that game, but could potentially now be a banana skin. Bournemouth obviously drawing no goals with Middlesbrough, so no goals in that one. That's all the rest of the I'll just be back 1 second before the kickoff. It's just about to start. Right, sorry about that. Now we are ready to get going. Hopefully a bit more exciting second half for Manchester United. Don't think there's any changes for either side, so it'll be interesting to see if Manchester United do change any players up. Stronger bench. So it depends whether he wants to try and kill the game off by bringing other players on, or just keep it at what we've got, because hopefully we can get the second goal and we won't need that. Won't need to use that bench really. Besides maybe bringing Luke Shaw on, I wouldn't mind seeing Luke Shaw in the second half. But certainly Jose Mourinho's not going to want this to go to extra time. And dusted if we can. If we're going to win it in the 90 minutes. And hopefully then we'll see, I presume it's tomorrow night when the draw will be made, then you'd see if Manchester United do qualify for the next round, get in the next round then. But at this moment in time, there's still a lot of championship sides and that's still in this competition that so far aren't losing. So potentially still get a position or something in the next round. Potentially if Manchester United could qualify for the next stage. We'll have to wait and see. Martial down, injured at the moment. Hopefully he's all right. Jose Mourinho doesn't look very happy there at the moment, but he'll be content with the results so far, though. The results, the competition, really. Hopefully Martial's going to be all right, because he could be a danger for Swansea in this second half. because they're going to have to, at some point in the next 15-20 minutes, they're going to have to start thinking of making a. If it stays the same, they're going to have to start thinking of making changes or changing their tactics and pushing men further up to get back in this, because, and well, obviously unless they score, because they'll just pass by and they'll get knocked out otherwise. So out there from Swansea. To be honest, Romero hasn't had an awful lot to do, but neither's their keeper. So for a number of occasions, Swansea were Manchester United's bogey team, but comes after Sir Alex Ferguson left. We did fuck up a few games against these, but you would expect them to push a lot harder this half, Swansea. So the emphasis is on them to get back into the game. Swansea with the corner. Axel clearing it. Cleared by McTominay there. Manchester United on the attack. Oh, it's crowded out, fouled. Manchester United fouling there. Come on, United, we need to wake up a little bit just to, because we've not put this game to bed. Oh, Rashford on the attack. Oh, certainly don't look the same as we did to the first few games of the season. But if you can still ground out results when you're not playing very well, then it would be a good thing for Manchester United at the moment, because Martial, oh, to the box, but McTominay, oh, fouled. Another free kick to Manchester United. Yeah, Rashford was fouled. We have a similar position, I believe, to where Rashford scored against Benfica. Probably going to try and whip it in, because I believe he's trying to whip that one in. Whip that one in. Oh, Now Swansea on the counter attack. Manchester United dealt with it. Oh, and the foul there. I think I was on 2 on Zebi. Yep. Foul there from Swansea on 2 on Zebi. I really feel that Manchester United could step this up a gear and put this to bed if we really went at it, but it's easier said than done sometimes to step it up when you. Oh, bit of a shit clearance there from Romero, but it's Manchester United on the break. Oh, couldn't just slip the ball through there. Perhaps we would have been in. Looks like Lukaku's warming up there for Manchester United. Will we see him tonight? Matic warming up. Score there though. That's the only. But the problem is the game's not won yet. So whether he wants to bring the big hitters on to kill it off at some point, because he won't want to lose this game. He won't want this game to go to extra time. So. Oh yeah. But we haven't done enough in the second half to trouble the goalkeeper at all. Well, neither have really Swansea. So. At the moment, Manchester United don't really look in any danger of losing this game, but that is the worry that I think it's been a bit of a poor old game, to be honest. But I think Swansea are going to have to do something to change it because the way it's going, it looks like it's only going one way. But some Swansea players also warming up there. Oh, Manchester United get a free kick there, foul. Not sure who that was on, but on Rashford. Oh, my United. Oh, dear. Step this up a bit. Blinder on the ball. Manchester United getting into their half again a bit, but just nowhere near enough sight on goal again today, which is really worrying. Their goalkeepers had a pretty damn easy game, which I'm worried about. Rashford now, come on. I'd like to see Rashford getting in the box, not being out wide more than Martial. But Martial in that position today, but we wouldn't see Rashford wide when I saw the starting lineup. But Manchester United was 68% of the possession, but we've done fuck all with it, to be honest, besides that goal, really. Which is worrying a bit. Couple of minutes away from the hour mark now. This half seems to be dragging out a little bit more than the first half, considering we're only 1-0 up, which is a bit of a cagey scoreline. And Swansea driving forward. Oh! Get in. Manchester United 2-0. 2-1 Zebi starting that off. Really fantastic. Bringing the ball in. And a fantastic goal for Manchester United. Killed the game off. Get in there. That was really good work there from 2-1 Zebi, bringing the ball into their half. That is a great header from him there. From Lingard. Get in. That should really put Manchester United in a very good position now to claim the round of the League Cup. But I thought that was nice work there from 2-1 Zebi to bringing the ball into their half, driving forward. And a very nice header from Jesse. Talking about him not scoring so many goals, he's got 2 this evening, so really pleased with that. It looks like Lukaku's coming on. I wouldn't have thought we'd need to really worry about bringing him on now, but I wonder who's coming off. Martial. Obviously, a third goal would absolutely annihilate this game off. But I can't really see the point in bringing Romelu Lukaku onto the pitch now for Manchester United. Yeah, I think it'd be a complete waste of time now that we're 2-0 up. I mean, not drifting away from us. We're in control of it now. To be honest, we'd be fools to. I think we'd be far better off protecting the lead that we have rather than to be bothering to bring Lukaku on in a game like this where we're comfortable now. To be honest, I mean, we've got that second cushion. That is the hardest bit, getting the first and then getting that second goal. to put clear daylight between yourselves and the opposition. It's just frustrating because if he gets injured, right, kicking the balls. Oh no, it's Matic coming on now by the looks of it. Both Matic and Lukaku look like they're both coming on. So Manchester United has certainly taken this second half seriously when we're putting this game to bed. Oh, the goal. Thought Manchester United were going to get a third then. Can you imagine? I think Swansea are apparently going to make a substitution now as well. They've already used one because they got an injury, but I just can't understand why Manchester United are making the Lukaku change. I mean, I can understand a bit bringing Matic on just to. But fuck, that's a foul, surely. Oh, played on. Come on. Mm. Cool, Jesse Lingard there putting the ball right across the goal. That replay of that one, it was. If someone had been there, they'd have poked that home and it would have been 3. But so far, this has been a very good night for Manchester United. I haven't played brilliant, but 2 goals to 0 up. You can't ask for no more than this, really, at all, can you? I mean, obviously, if we let a goal in, it would be a bit knife edge, but I wouldn't bring Lukaku on as well as I would personally just bring Matic maybe on just to shield in front of that back four, just to we've got now because we don't really need to go pushing for more. I'm not saying park the bus completely. Obviously, play more intelligently, because they're going to have to push now because the game's getting away from Swansea. They're 2-0 down. They've got to throw everything at this game. So it doesn't matter if they lose 4 or 5-0. If it stays the same, they've lost. So they've really got to go for it now. And so Manchester United should be all right to pick them off if they do change things. Martial fouled there. I mean, I don't know which one he's bringing off. Probably Martial will probably be one of them to go off. Marcus Rashford makes way for Romelu Lukaku. And Herrera goes off. I can understand that a bit because he's more defensive-minded Matic and we'll just shield in front of that back four and what we've got. But we're in. I mean, we've never really looked in danger of losing this game, but we've never really been brilliant going forward. But be 2-0 up at this stage of the game. Bringing Lukaku on, then that's up to Mourinho. Fucking hell. Crystal Palace losing 4-1. Jesus Christ. 4-1. Crazy shit. Oh, United have had 107 passes second half to their 57. We seem so much more comfortable since we got that second, just controlling the game. Just over about 23 minutes to go in this encounter, so be nice to see Martial get himself on the score sheet. Winning games and winning trophies breeds confidence, so that's why I'm happy if Manchester United can get through to this next round. McTominay. Oh. Wouldn't it have been great if that had opened up for Scott McTominay there? Shit, that was. I think it's gone out for a corner, but it'd have been nice to have seen him get through on goal. So you can see that Scott McTominay's worked really hard to get to this sort of level. Oh! Zebi there. Fuck, we could have. Zebi could have quite easily scored that one. Looking at the replay, fuck, just not able to get it. Arsenal still losing 1-0 against Norwich at home at the moment as it stands. So potentially be a shock if they were to lose that. Oh, Scott McTominay. I don't think these youngsters have done bad at all tonight, for Manchester United. This is big opposition. They haven't played a lot of football this season. Leicester City have gone 2-1 up in their game. Hopefully this will give Jose Mourinho the confidence to give these two young lads a chance again in the first team against a couple of them Champions League group games, because the group is almost sewn up in that Champions League. So we could afford to play these in that next game, to be honest. Couldn't play Axel in that next game. It would be the perfect time to give him a run out. He was a brilliant young talent. I mean, I can't see it will phase a lad like him going into that game if we played him next week at home to Benfica, because very good in that first game, so there won't hopefully be so much pressure on the defence in that one, being at home, considering we're relatively comfortable with them away. So he's a big, strong lad, is Axel. He's tall, powerful. So it would be the perfect opportunity to give him a run out. It really would. City are now making a substitution. Abraham's coming on. This was the main threat that I was worried about. I think he could be a decent player, but Chelsea have never given him the opportunity to flourish there, and they've sent him out on loan again. But goals before, I believe, in the Championship. So so far, Lukaku hasn't really seen too much of the ball in these opening few minutes since he's been on the pitch. But Manchester United seem very, very in control of this second half to me. Not a vintage performance or anything, but very controlled second half. Not looking any danger of conceding at the moment. A very professional Jose Mourinho performance, to be honest. But you've always got that danger, if obviously, as if Swansea were to score a goal in this, it would the last few moments difficult. But they've really got to push now, Swansea, to try and get back in this. So, they've had a chance. Abraham with a shot, probably comfortably saved by Romero. You would expect probably him to. Well, it was a decent save still. It looked like it was going in. I mean, you'd probably expect Romero to get to that one, but still a decent enough save. Manchester United have just got to be a bit careful from things like that, but because we've been so comfortable and in control. All the foul there, by Axel. Axel Tuan Zebi there. Probably one of the only things he's done wrong for me. I think he's done a decent job tonight, Axel. But he's still only 19. Looks about 25. With the stature of the man. The only annoying thing is we haven't even still as the game gets towards the closing stages, we still haven't seen Luke Shaw tonight, so it doesn't look like he's going to be anytime soon. So this is a dangerous spot from Swansea. Makes it comfortably by Romero. Romero just doesn't let goals in. Jesus Christ, this cunt saves fucking nearly everything. Okay, that was an easy one, but he just doesn't. He seems to get so many clean sheets when he plays for Manchester United. Doesn't play enough probably to letting you in, but whenever he seems to play, he just always seems to end up with a clean sheet. We're hoping, obviously, that's the case this evening as well. He must have quite a good ratio for Manchester United, and I know it's a small amount of games he's played. Saying that, they're probably going to let one in a minute now. But it's looking more and more likely that Manchester United are going to hopefully get themselves into the semi-final round of this competition. We're less than 15 minutes now away from replacing the next round, which is which is great news for Manchester United. I think Jose Mourinho will be delighted with this win, to be honest. After how horrible we played against Huddersfield, to come back and get a fairly, although we haven't played very well, but it's still been a fairly decent win for Manchester United. Comfortable. I mean, the players haven't responded and put in a 5-star performance, but they've responded and hopefully got the job done, which is what you want to do if you've had a horrible defeat. Come back and just get that win under your belt, just to put things right. Whenever you've had a defeat, you just want the next game to come thick and fast so you can put that behind you. It's looking like Manchester United have done that this evening. And the fact is that we've changed. The plus side is we've given, although we've brought a couple off the bench, we have made 7 changes to the starting lineup. So they are having a little bit of a go, Swansea. I've got to give them that now, because I mean, they've got to have a go. I mean, there's no point in just sitting back and the defeat and out of the cup. They want to get back into it. It's going to be difficult for them now to get 3 goals, because they're going to have to get 2 goals to take it to extra time. But they've obviously got to put a shift in and have a go. Offside there. Is that Abraham? Oh no, it was Ramage. So not long to go now, only about 10 minutes of this encounter. It does look more and more likely that Manchester United will be in the bag for when the balls are pulled out, probably tomorrow night, whenever it is the balls are pulled out. But I'm pretty damn happy with this one. This is what you want on a Tuesday night. A fairly comfortable, no hassle game, really. Kaku. Oh, the ball's crossed it. Oh. Can we get a third? Oh, Lingard from distance, going for his hat-trick there. He'd love a hat-trick, wouldn't he, old Jesse Lingard? So Two top teams tonight are struggling. Arsenal and Manchester City. Manchester City is still no goals against Wolves, and Norwich are beating Arsenal at this moment in time, 1-0. So just proves that this competition isn't as easy as people make it out to be. People call it the Mickey Mouse Cup and all shit like that, but just shows that Manchester City have put a strong lineup out tonight, and they're not even beating Wolves yet. And Arsenal are losing to Norwich. Okay, they've made a number of changes, but it's not that easy to win this competition. Romero comes out there and claims the cross. As though Manchester United are trying to just see this, just see it out now. To be honest, they're not even looking to try and even get a third. Which I'll be happy with that. Many goals tonight. I was expecting a tight encounter. 2-0 is more than I expected, so I was expecting maybe sort of a 2-1, so fairly happy. Oh, the shot deflected, and Romero gets again. Wonder when the next game in this round is. I wonder if Zlatan would be back for the next time Manchester United playing this competition. Would be interesting to see when the next game is, because he's probably not many weeks away. I presume he'll probably need some reserve games first, Zlatan, before he plays first team. But and Rojo should definitely hopefully be back by the next one. Oh look, Luke Shaw's coming on. Jesus Christ. Jesus fucking Christ. Not got long left, but let's just hope we don't make a fuck up in these last few minutes. Hopefully it will be for Darmian, because I'd like to see Axel keep his place in the team for the last remaining minutes, but he's put a shift in, the young man. So certainly like Axel. He looks to me as though he'd be a favourite of mine if he can stay in and around the first team squad for this season. Foul there on Darmian. I've got a feeling it might be for Axel, actually. Axel might come off and we might switch around a little bit. No, it's Martial. Martial's coming off. Anthony Martial's come off. Now Luke Shaw will get the last remaining few minutes of this match. Arsenal have equalised against Norwich, so that could end up going to extra time now. They scored in the 85th minute. There's not long left in that one. Just like there's not long left in this one either. So but it's nice to see that Luke Shaw's back on the pitch anyway, even though it's only for a couple of minutes. But Oh, the shot by Matic. Oh. Look, sure enough, has to make an impression in these couple of minutes to get himself back in contention for Jose Mourinho's plans, but hopefully, surely he'll get some Champions League game time over the next couple of Champions League games, surely. Oh, thank God. Looks like it probably going to be a 2-0 victory then for Manchester United this evening. Absolutely. Manchester United look like they're going to be in the pot for the next round of the League Cup. But I really think I'm going to love that guy Axel when he's playing for Manchester United. He really seems like the sort of player that I'm going to love watching play for Manchester United. I've watched him play quite a few times now for Manchester United, and I really feel like he could be a potential Manchester United future star. There is a few in the youth team that I've got high hopes for, and he's really one of them. But oh, whoops. So we're going almost into the last minute now of this game. Yes. Jose Mourinho's got 100% win record at the Liberty Stadium. Interesting. But it's just nice to see us get the job done. Was there 3 minutes of added time now for Manchester United? Right, Bristol City are one team, one championship side that are definitely through to the next League Cup, beating Crystal Palace. They're 4-1 up, so Leeds are going out, and Norwich and still. So could one of them potentially still get through? We will have to wait and see. As long as Manchester United are in the next round, that's the main thing I care about. It's just I don't really understand this bringing Lukaku on off the bench. I really don't understand that one. It's really any point when with the scoreline we had in this game. We've been so comfortable. And not too sure how many players Swansea have actually changed tonight, but I know they've changed a few. So obviously this isn't really a full reflection on a Premier League game, but Manchester United made 7 changes to their starting lineup as well. So It's still Premier League opposition at the end of the day. All right, we're into the last minute of the game now. And then Manchester United will be into that next round. Jose Mourinho's fantastic record continues by the looks of things in this competition. As Swansea have a shot which goes wide. Which takes a deflection. Even if Swansea City was to score now, it's game over. There's not long left. Oh, Romero! Nice save there at the end from Romero to keep a clean sheet for himself. Very, very quality backup goalkeeper, Romero, for Manchester United. And that's it. Manchester United have seen it off. We've got the job done. Thankfully, we've won the game this evening. 2-0. Jesse Lingard with a goal in each half, a coolly struck finish into the bottom corner, and also a goal. So thanks to everyone for watching the live watch along this evening. I hope you all enjoyed the game. There will be a match reaction coming up soon in just a moment, so stay tuned for that. Make sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and also click the like button on this video if you're new, and I will talk to you all again soon. Thanks. Take care. See ya.